Hello and welcome to the AI On Demand platform. In this video, we'll explain you how to upload your resources to the platform as a researcher and how to organize them into projects. You can find a list of projects under Community. And here you can search by industry sector, order by different aspects, or just search by any keyword you find interesting. Say you're interested in edge computing. I can start searching and I see a number of projects that do edge computing. So let's look at one of them. So this brings us to the project page. So here we can see a description, which can be anything you like. And below we'll list all the different resources that are linked to this project. In this case, we have a number of success stories, like interviews, other items like call for papers, summer schools, events, and news items. All these items exist in the AI catalog, so you can click on any of them and you will get more information about that resource, and of course also link to more information about it and then access to the actual resource. Alright, now other projects may have other resources. So let's go back to projects. Let's choose a different project. And this project again has a nice description, but also has things like computational assets, which can be, for instance, code bases, data sets, and AI models. For instance, again, all these items exist in the AI catalog. So if I click on this data set, I get a description and I get a link to that data set, which in this case brings us to a landing page, which then links through to Hugging Face. Other items could be, for instance, models, and the same thing. So they have apparently a nice fine-tuned version of Whisper. Again, information, again, a link to the landing page, and then access to the model. Right? And this way, all different projects have all different resources connected to them. To upload new resources or create projects, you first need to have an account, so we'll need to log in. Even if you don't have an account yet, also click the login button to make a new account. You see a host of options here. So for instance, you can log in via Google or GitHub or anything else, or you can log in via your existing institute. So say you work at a university, you can type that, and then you can directly link in and log in through your institution account. And this makes sure that everything is linked to the same account. You don't necessarily need to make a new account to manage your resources. I can also log in via another platform like Google. And now I'm logged in and I can start uploading resources. Now let's go ahead and create a project so I can add resources to it. First you click the plus button. You can also find it in your dashboard. And then you see the editor. So this is a list of items that you already created, like news items, events, budgets, and so on. And you can also create new items here. For instance, say you want to create a new project. I click here, and now you can start that. The description, start date and end date, a link to your website or to your project, any categories you want to attach to it, so people can find it more easily. And then here you can also add resources already to the project, but we'll do that a little bit later because there's different ways we can do that. Now, first of all, I will create a project. So it's now in draft state. I can still change it if I want to. And when I'm done, I can submit it for review. Some information for the reviewers, and that's it. So if you go back to your asset list now, you'll see here's my new project I created. And you can see it's submitted, and as soon as it's reviewed, you will see it will update to published. I already created a project called My Demo Project. You can find it on aiod for now under projects. So you can see here I have my project. a very small description, and then a number of data sets and events and so on, right? So how do I add these resources to my project? If you want to add resources to your projects, there are two main ways. One is via the editor manually, or programmatically via the API. Let's first see how to do it manually via the editor. So you go back to the editor, and here you can go to your project, and if you scroll down, you will see here a way to add new assets to your project. And these are assets that already exist in the AI catalog, right? So if you go back to the main platform and you go to the AI catalog, here you can search for all the different AI resources already present on the platform. So these will be automatically indexed from other resources often used by scientists like Hugging Face, OpenML, Zenodo. So if your resource is already there, you will likely find it here as well because it's automatically indexed. And so to start, you can search by keyword, or you can even use AI mode. So say it's a data set about climate change after 2019, then the AI will interpret this and give you all the data sets that qualify that answer, that question. All right, so here I have a number of different ones. And so say this is your data set, for instance. Then you can copy paste the URL. You can go back to the editor. To your project. Scroll down, and here you can add it to your project, and that's it. Update, and you're done. And so you can do this for any resource that already exists in the AI catalog. The second way you can do it is by creating new news items, projects, papers, and so on. So say you have a new paper, you can enter it here. You can add a title, description, and a link to your paper. Maybe it's an archive or anywhere else. I'll just add a random link here. And here you can then look for your project. Here you go. And that's it. And now I will add this publication to my project. Right. Now, if you go back to asset list, you will see that this paper is now added. It's draft. Oh, I need to submit it. And now it will be under review. And as soon as it's reviewed, it will be shown as published. Right. And the same thing for news items. If you want to add a new news item, you can fill in everything. At the end, you link it to your project, and that's it. And that's how you add new resources to your project manually. You can also go back to check. If you go to my project again, I should be able to find my data set. This is the data set I just added, right? So it's right here, and it's linked to, of course, to the catalog. My paper is not yet here because it's under reviewed, but as soon as it's reviewed, it will also show up here. Now, the second way you can add resources is via the API. If you want to know more about the API, you can go to Resources, SDKs and APIs, and then to the Python SDK. And here under examples, you find a lot of information about how to get started and how to add new resources to your projects via the API. Let me quickly run you through it. So first of all, you'll need to pip install AI on demand. Then you import it. And now, to quickly show you what you can do, for instance, you can use API to get a list of data sets, for instance. Here I limit it by 25, and I also limit it to a platform like Hugging Face, and you get results, right? And here I'm only showing the first 5, but there will be 25 data sets. If you want to have only resources that are natively uploaded to the platform, you can do it this way. Again, it's one line of code. And to make the output simple, I just ask for the identifier name and link. Of course, you can also use a query like natural forest. That's just a natural language query. You can write anything you want here, and then you will get the results. Or you can get them by identifier. So you will see that any AI resource on the platform has an identifier, which is always, first of all, the type, like data underscore, and then a hash with the unique ID of that resource, right? And if you know, right, so if you want to know more about this data set in this case, you can copy it here, and then just by doing datasets.get assets, you will get all the information about that particular data set. You can do the same with projects, right? So first I can list all the projects, right? So you can see again, the identifier is project underscore and a hash, and name and so on. Right? So here I only ask for the ID, the name, the subtitle, start date, and end date. And you can also do a natural language search, right? Robotics, and you will find all the projects that have to do anything with robotics. And if you want to know more about your project, you can again copy paste the ID, and then you can see all the information about that project. Now, if you want to upload resources to your project, it's important that you know this ID, right? So copy paste it, and now we will use it to upload resources. Okay, so to upload resources, again, I have to click install aiod. This is done. Import aiod. And now, because we need to log in, we need to create a token. We make it very simple for you. So just run this. And now it will give you a link with a unique code. If you click that, you need to grant access to your account. This is done, right? And so now this should be linked to my account, right? So now this notebook knows who I am, and it can start uploading resources. Now, if you want to upload any resources, you need to provide the right information, right? And so for that, you can go to the REST API. Right, and this will tell you how things look like in the catalog, like case studies, computational assets, and so on. So say you want to upload a data set, you can go to put data set, right? And so here you see the information that you can provide to the platform if you want to upload a new data set, right? So you can see identifier, the name, the data is published, a nice to send maybe, alternative names, application errors, and so on. So this is basically all the different bits of information you can register when you upload a new resource. Right. So depending on the kind of resources you want, you look at what the structure is, and then you provide that. Right. So if you go back here, I want to create a new asset. Right. So I first create this little object with all the information. So in this case, it's a news item, right? So it's name, headline, and so on. It's part of this project. So here you say that this belongs to your project, right? And then the link to a news item and so on. So I'm just run this. So I create this object, and now I will register this news item, and that's it. Now, if you want to change an item, you can also do that here. So for instance, say you want to update this news item I just created, right? I still have my identifier of my news item. And here you can add anything in the metadata you want to change, right? So update will selectively replace items that are new. And so if you run this, so now I add this new keyword to my news item, and that's it. You can do the same for projects, right? So if you want to, for instance, change the subtitle of your project, you can do this the same way. You use update, the identifier, this is your project ID, and here what you will change, for instance, the subtitle, and then you can also change this way, right? Okay, and that's it. So to summarize, if you want to create a new project, just go to the editor and create your new project here. If you want to change a project, you can again just open it, change any information. You can add resources by just adding a link from the AI catalog. Or you can create any new item, like a news item or a publication, and then you can link that to your project after you filled in the name and all the other information, and then linking it to your project like this, and then you create this. Right, so this was a quick tutorial about how to add new resources to the platform and organize it into projects. If you have any information, you can always contact us, and see you next time.